Shalom. Let's talk about reparations. As the name implies, this channel is about preparations. However, you may have heard a lot about reparations. Reparations are an attempt to pay for or repair the damage that was done by giving money. The world has many different currencies or money. However, they are not valued the same. For instance, one unit of a United States of America dollar might give you 20 Mexican pesos or 200 Liberian dollars, but only 80% of a euro and only 30% of a Kuwaiti dinar. In other words, while most countries might want the US dollar, the most valued is actually the Kuwaiti dinar. So why does it have such a high perceived relative value? Most likely because it is associated with an oil-rich country. The Kuwaiti dinar is based upon that oil and thus is effectively backed by a country with strong economic stability. Initially, the US dollar was based upon gold, i.e. the gold standard, but that ended in the 1970s. Today, it is a fiat currency. The desire for it comes from the perceived strength of the government. This means it is nothing more than a trust that the US government will not default. Indeed, the privately owned but not government-owned system of Federal Reserve banks could just print more or less money for the United States of America as it sees fit. Of course, it does this carefully. Indeed, if you look at the US debt clock, it appears the US is indebted to the Federal Reserve for the rest of its existence. The US national debt at the time I'm creating this teaching is over $26 trillion and a total debt over $80 trillion. More importantly, the debts are increasing rapidly given the inflows are less than the outflows. It's a deficit. In my opinion, which is based upon these facts, a fiat currency is a clever way of using something unreal to pay for something real. If I had 3 worthless twigs of different lengths and you accepted the longest twig in exchange for your car, then one long twig is now theoretically equivalent in value to 1 car. The twigs have become money, something of little or no value, used in transactions for the exchange of something that does have value. Moreover, if I can suddenly modify the twigs such that anyone with the old twigs would have to trade them in for new twigs or risk suddenly finding that they own a ton of worthless twigs, then the value of the twig is not real. Incredibly, the hyperinflation that occurred in Germany during wartime in the 1920s when they freely printed more money led to their currency actually being used as kindling for fires. Let's take a look at Genesis 15:12-14. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. Our Father tells us that we will come out with great substance, but he does not specify what that substance will consist of when we do. However, do you really believe that after he judges any nation that the fiat currency of that nation will be so valuable as to repay the damages of 400 years of atrocities, the horror of great darkness, which include outright murder of men, women, children, and babies? What amount of money can bring back a precious life? Do you think even trillions upon trillions of dollars to the people now will avenge the blood of our murdered brothers, sisters, children, and babies? More directly, would you hand over your child or any loved one to be disgraced, tortured, and then ruthlessly slaughtered in the dirt in exchange for $100 million? If so, you are being a Gentile and not a child of the Most High. Nevertheless, the world does not want to give you any money or anything to compensate for the crimes committed against you, and if it did, it would expect you to forget about all of it. Remember, it took the blood of Christ to redeem the world. He also will repay, that is, punish, the nations for their crimes. Romans 12:19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, said the Lord. As the children of God, do not concern yourself with reparations. Instead, focus on preparations. What are the things that we, the chosen of God, are to do now that he has awakened us? Well, the scriptures tell us quite a bit, and none of it is about negotiating for reparations. For now, I will give you the following word from God, 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Hallelujah.